Executive Governor of Taraba State, which is scheduled to take place as follows. Date 8th to 9th November 2024. Time 10 a.m. prompt. Venue College of Education Football Ground, Zing, Taraba State. Announcer Committee.
For you and your children deserve the best, so grab this opportunity now. The lesson fee is affordable at the cost of 5,000 naira per month. Take advantage of this rare opportunity. For more inquiries, contact 081 2854 3150 or
Hello viewers, it's my pleasure again today to welcome you to another edition of our program, Hangout with Journalists. In this program, we usually discuss tropical issues, and we usually invite to the studio people who are of the pen profession, particularly to look at critically happenings around the country and even around the world. It's my pleasure today again to welcome you to a fresh edition of the program. My name is Olayinka Gabriel. I'm your regular host for this program. I have in the studio very powerful men of the pen profession who are going to be bearing their mind on some of the issues that we're going to be discussing today. By my left is a seasoned journalist, the correspondent, the state correspondent for Leadership newspaper. As you are aware, Leadership newspaper is one of the leading newspaper in this country. So we are very privileged to have in this studio today Mr. John Ukom. You're highly welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
We also have in the studio another very powerful member of the pen profession, and is one of the people that has been encouraging me in this journey of broadcasting, and it's my pleasure to have him in the studio. He's also the Taraba State correspondent for Sun newspaper, Mr. Silvanus Viashima. You're welcome.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you so much for accepting to be in this studio. Let's get the ball rolling. First, US election. Trump has won the election. Mr. John, let me have your thoughts.
Let me first of all say congratulations to America. Congratulations to the whole world, because when it comes to America, it has to do with the whole world.
It's like the president of the whole world.
Because the economic policy of that American country is affects the entire world. So let me congratulate America for having a president in person of Mr. Donald Trump. He was the president of America before he was elected in the early hours of today. And I think from the atmosphere, it is well accepted, because we've seen a lot of congratulatory messages from world powers in different countries. So for me, I think it's a welcome development, and we were looking up to a peaceful conduct of that post, and it has come and gone. So we should be thanking God that today America is out with a new dawn again. That is just what I will say for now.
Okay, thank you. Let's have your thoughts, Mr. Viashima.
Yeah, first of all, I think I will personally congratulate you on this great feat, establishing the first private television station in TARABA State. It's a very wonderful development, and it's quite commendable. Now, about the US election, just like my colleague said, it has global significance, especially at this time with the tension in the Middle East, the war in Ukraine, and so many other developments around the world. You discover that the election itself is one of the most charged elections in the US history. At some point, there were reports all over the place. There's going to be crisis. There's going to be violent protests and all of that. But we've seen the election come and go quite peacefully, with Trump winning. Of course, his victory, you could see it coming anyway, but it's a keenly contested election, and I think it has global significance, like you said.
Okay, what do you think, what is the significance of, what do you think will change? How do you see Trump coming in? What really is your expectation? What really are you thinking will change as far as world economy, world conflicts, and other things? Is Trump actually going to make any significant difference?
Yeah, if you ask me, I think he's a more decisive person. He takes sometimes very radical decisions. You could equate him to someone like George Bush, that if he sees that this thing needs to be done, he can get it done and get congressional approval later. He takes very decisive actions. So I see him being more proactive in addressing issues like the crisis between Russia and Ukraine. I think he will take more decisive actions about it. What is happening in the Middle East between Israel and Iran and other neighboring countries, I think he should be able to step in a way that either there will be a truce, these countries will call it truce, but there will be more decisive action. I see that coming from him.
What's your expectation, Mr. John?
In fact, as a person, I'm expecting immediate changes globally in terms of economy, in terms of crisis, violence, because we can understand when Trump was his first 4 years as a term when he was the president of the United States of America. You know his policies and his body language. You know the responses of the people around you is the way you respond to issues. And when he was in the office as the president of USA, we know how stable was the economic of the country as the US, and also those who depend on the economy of the US, how even Nigeria was failing as at that time. So my expectations are not far-fetched from reversing back to the worst, reversing back to the better days of Trump than the worst we're experiencing now. Because as a country, what I'm experiencing in Nigeria, I know the US is also responsible of the negative impact of our economy, the dollar rate, the purchase rate, the response from even from the negative aspect of Russia-Ukraine crisis. You know, these are countries that also benefit from in terms of sometimes grains and sponsorship of other things. We are expecting a change. We are expecting a whole turnover from what has been happening in the days of Mr. Biden, that our economy has gone worse. We are expecting we'll get better days ahead, and it will not be as worse as what we've been experiencing in the last few years.
Okay, let's quickly take the speech of Donald Trump when he won the election. Let's listen a little to what Trump had to say.
Well, I want to thank you all very much. This is great. These are our friends. We have thousands of friends on this incredible movement. This was a movement like nobody's ever seen before. And frankly, this was, I believe, the greatest political movement of all time. There's never been anything like this in this country, and maybe beyond. And now it's going to reach a new level of importance because we're going to help our country heal. We're going to help our country heal. We have a country that needs help, and it needs help very badly. We're going to fix our borders. We're going to fix everything about our country. And we made history for a reason tonight, and the reason is going to be just that. We overcame obstacles that nobody thought possible, and it is now clear that we've achieved the most incredible political thing. Look what happened. Is this crazy? But it's a political victory that our country has never seen before, nothing like this. I want to thank the American people for the extraordinary honor of being elected your 47th president and your 45th president. And every citizen, I will fight for you, for your family, and your future. Every single day, I will be fighting for you, and with every breath in my body, I will not rest until we have delivered the strong, safe, and prosperous America that our children deserve and that you deserve. This will truly be the golden age of America. That's what we have to have. This is a magnificent victory for the American people that will allow us to make America great again. And in addition to having won the battleground states of North Carolina, I love these places, Georgia, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin, we are now winning in Michigan, Arizona, Nevada, and Alaska, which would result in us carrying at least 315 electoral votes, but it's much easier doing what the networks did or whoever called it, because there was no other path. There was no other path to victory. We also have won the popular vote. That was great. Very proud of that. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. And, winning the popular vote was very nice, I will tell you. It's a great.
Okay, thank you. If you are just joining us, this is Hangout with journalists coming to you live from some TV. This program is a program that we do every Monday, every Wednesday, and every Friday. By 6 p.m. like this, we are here to discuss topical issues that affect our country, Nigeria, issues that affect the whole world. So if you are just joining us, you are tuning to some TV, and it's interesting to know that you can get us on a lot of satellite decoder right now. We are live on free-to-air decoder. We are live on Strong. We are live on CSAT. We are live on NISAT. And the frequency you are going to get us is 12589, symbol rate of 26250 at horizontal, and it's on the Nikon Sat satellite. And very soon we're going to be on Start Time and other decoder. You can also get us on Facebook at Some TV. You can also get us on YouTube, Super TV, and all of them. We are also on Infex, Text, and so many other. You have opportunity to join this conversation today, and for now, you can only send us text message or WhatsApp message. Later on, we're going to open the line, and you will have the opportunity to bear your mind on some of the issues that we are discussing today. So if you want to send us message, you can send us message on Facebook. You can comment on the comment section. You can also send us a text message or a WhatsApp message on 08020592870. That is the number that you can send us a text message or a WhatsApp message. Later on at the course of this program, you also have the opportunity to call in and bear your mind. Gentlemen of the press, thank you for being with us on this show. I want us to talk about this American election process. So many people are confused about this electoral college system. You know, what we know in Nigeria is that anybody who has the highest votes, win the election. But in America, the system seems not to be like that. Can you throw more light to our audience on the electoral college system of election in our country, Mr.
Yes, the U.S. democracy has a very interesting twist to it. They have 50 states, and from those 50 states, each state produces 2 senators. Each state produces 2 senators. However, when it comes to representatives, the number of representatives per state is based on the population of that state. That is why some states have as many as 53 representatives. States like California, they have about 53 representatives and 2 senators. Then there are other states, other smaller states like South Dakota, for instance, they have only 1 representative. So the electoral college is actually the total number of representatives in each state and the 2 senators they have. This is what forms the electoral college for each state. What they do is that the US conducts census every 10 years. So after every 10 years, they will look at the census figures and it determines whether the number of representatives from a state will increase or will reduce. That is why at some point you have a state with maybe 20 representatives After 10 years, they may go up to maybe 15, depending on the migration policy at the time. So in all, the electoral college, all in all, there are around 538, if I'm not mistaken, as at last count. I think that's the figure that was used for this election. So you may win the majority of votes of the general people in a state. Now, you may win the majority of votes in an election, but you still not be elected a president. This is how it works. Each state, if for instance Trump wins California, he automatically gets the 53 electoral college from California. However, if he wins maybe there's a very close tie in a state with the opposition, maybe they have like, let's assume there are 20,000 votes in that state, and they have like 10,000 plus the other person 9,000 plus. It's a very close call. But you still pack all the electoral college votes from that particular state. So the moment you are able to, if you divide the total number of electoral college, which is 538, you have 269. So what is required is a person with the highest number of electoral college votes. So once you cross that 169 and you get to 170 and above, automatically you become the elected president. So you might not necessarily
270 is that?
Yeah. 270. So once you cross that threshold of 270, automatically you are the president, because the other person cannot have as much electoral college votes as you do. So that's how the system works.
Well, Mr. John, what can you say? American started election yesterday. By today, we have a president. I want you to look at our electoral system in this country. What can you say we need to borrow from what American just did in the last 24 hours?
To stick to policies. Make policies and stick to them. You don't manipulate policies. You establish them and they become your industries, where you fetch, you eat, you drink, and you sleep. And then you wake up the next day, you know that that policy remains where you can go and fetch to drink again. There's no poison to eat. You have faith that you will die today, tomorrow your next generation is going to continue with the policy. But what is the problem of Nigeria is we manipulate policies. Americans doesn't manipulate policies. They stick to their policies, and that is why we say they are developed. They have hoped in their policies, they establish them, and it has become a rival point that everybody will be running around to make sure that this is where we stick to. And as soon as you deviate from that, you are no more a citizen, a royal citizen of that country. And they look at you as somebody who has come to destabilize their system. So policies are things that we need to believe in so that they will work for us. In Nigeria, it's unlike America. That's just the truth that you see. You wake up today and you get a result of a presidential election alongside the Senate and House of Reps. It's a process that always takes us close to a week. While we wait to manipulate to get a result, a desired result that we want.
People have to travel from different states to Abuja to go and present
up a result that will be in line with not the policy of Nigeria, but their own policy. So that is what we are suffering from until when we choose to go back and think for the country, Nigeria. As a country, let me talk about Nigeria because this is our own country. Until when we begin to think how are we going to run the country for our children, for ourselves, and then we begin to make policies that will work for us. That is when we will get it right, the same way America is getting it today. But let me shock you. The reason why we are into this is because we only want to favor ourselves. It's a game of favoritism. We just want to do things that will favor us. That is why our policies are not stable. That is why even the president of a country will wake up today and send a bill to the National Assembly. They will call it a double tax or what tax bill, and it will get there. By getting at the National Assembly, it will be already there. That is why the same country will detain children, and tomorrow the president will order that the children should be set free by the court. That is the reason why the same country will have policies that are not static, policies that are not stable, policies that can easily be changed. The reason is because we don't believe in our policy. We manipulate, we maneuver policies, and Nigeria, our country, is not stable. Until when we begin to think like as advanced as country like US, the way they think for the progress of their country, they think for the common man, they think for everybody, they look at all persons as equal. That is when we'll get it right.
Okay, just a rider to that. You see, one other key thing we may need to pick from the US election is automation. While voting was going on, the process is automated. So as voting is going on, counting is literally as well going on. So as soon as voting is completed, you know that this person has won the state. So it's already recorded automatically. He has won this number of electoral college votes from that place. You understand?
Yeah.
However, in our own system here, they will run an election. Then you go and sit down and start counting ballot papers one after the other. That takes a whole lot of time. It takes a whole lot of human efforts and all of that. So there's bound to be some issues in the course of the process. But if it is automated, that is what the BVN, no, not BVN, the Beavers. Uh-huh. That's what the Beavers was supposed to do. Yeah. That's what the card reader. These are the things. This is the innovation these things were supposed to bring to bear. But what happened? Just like he said, policy inconsistency.
Yes.
We don't believe in our institutions because they are not very transparent. We don't believe in our policies because they are not designed to work in the first place. They are designed to just fulfill certain purposes. So rather than have a system where the votes are counted on the card readers, automatically goes to the saver, at the end of the day, you have a seamless process where as this polling unit is finishing, the records are there already automatically, and the computation is done automatically. So you don't have any room for manipulation. But because we are so comfortable with manipulating things to achieve certain results, they just have to, make sure the automation does not quite work. So if we must get our elections right in this country, automation is the way to go.
You see issues like after election, you see counting OB, and then OB 72. And that is how we count. And I don't know where after counting OB1M, then when is it going to the system to translate to figures that will be converted to the beavers and the rest. These are our issues.
In the last election, was Edo election. There were these allegations that what we saw on the IRF portal is different from what is presented at the collation center. What do you think needs to be done? Because right now, one of the problems we're having is that there is no law backing electronic transmission of results. What do you think our legislators need to do in order to bring sanity to the system?
That one is a good one. Only if we can address it as we're addressing it here. It's being taken serious at the highest authority. Because you mentioned a set of people that schedule with responsibility of making laws for the country. And these are the same people that made the law to say today beavers is compulsory. Take it to the field. In the exercise, somebody must be captured through the beavers. And then what will happen is that accreditation will be done through the beavers. And then we will not recognize anybody that voted outside not being captured by the beavers. We agreed to that, and we were prepared to go into election with it. We celebrated so much to a point even the sitting president, the then sitting president, Jonathan,
went to Tom
and he was rejected. At the first point, we were disappointed that how can we make rules and we're not prepared to execute them. At that level, we started seeing issues of incident form. Even apart from the beavers, you see that somebody will bypass beavers and then make incident form and then incident form, and it will count. And you will see people will bring forms from where you are not expecting them at all. So it's the failure of our system. The system is not consistent, just the way my friend said. The National Assembly will make laws. These laws will not be implemented by the judiciary because the same incident will be taken to the court, and court will tell you that electronic is not being recognized in the face of the judiciary. And you should not, even the givers that I understand over 398 billion at that time was spent to make beavers. Nigerian money that ordinarily would have been sunk into institutions, education, health sector, and the rest, were used to make it to bring out beavers at the point the judiciary said it is useless. That over 300 billion made nothing. It was nonsense. So you can see that we are inconsistent with our policies, and we are not giving respect to the laws that are ordinarily supposed to be respected. And that has become a problem because we want to maneuver. The system to our favor, and it's our problem. That is issue. It's a very serious issue until when it's tackled. If it's not well tackled, we'll continue not to be where America is today.
Okay, you are watching Hangout with Journalists on some TV, and I still have in the studio Mr. Silvanus Biashima, the song correspondent for Taraba State, and my beloved friend, Mr. John Ukum, the leadership correspondent for Taraba State. We're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, Hang Out with Journalists, we continue. Please stay tuned and don't go away.
Businessman or woman, do you need loan to grow your business? At TARABA Business Development Center, we offer both business and personal loan with flexible repayment plan. We are located in different parts of Taraba State. Jalingo branch, opposite Civil Service Commission, 183 Amarua Way, 090-3134-4333. Zing branch, Zenith Bank agent beside College of Education, Zing, 070-3125-2559. Yembu branch, Usi Plaza, Yembu Sardauna State, 080-8978-2725. ATC branch, Zenith Bank agents, Taraba State University shops, ATC Audokola Local Government, 090-7850-2712. Other centers to take up soon. This initiative is supported by Zenith Bank, Globus Bank, Wema Bank, and Guarantee Trust Bank. Super Cash. Are you a businessman or woman? Do you need loan to grow your business? At TARABA Business Development Center, we offer both business and personal loan with flexible repayment plan. We are located in different parts of Taraba State. Jalingo branch, opposite Civil Service Commission, 183 Amarua Way, 090-3134-4333. Zing branch, Zenith Bank agent beside College of Education, Zing, 070-3125-2559. Yembu Branch, Usi Plaza, Yembu Sardauna State, 080-8978-2725. ATC Branch, Zenith Bank Agents, Taraba State University Shops, ATC, Outer Kola Local Government, 090-7850-2712. Other centers to take up soon. This initiative is supported by Zenith Bank, Globus Bank, Wema Bank, and Guarantee Trust Bank. Super Cash.
Oh, yeah, yes.
The Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, Taraba State Chapter, under the leadership of Reverend Dr. Isaiah Jirape Magaji, cordially invites the general public to welcome the National CAN President for a visit to the state and a combined service scheduled to take place as follows. Date, 8 November 2024. Time, 3 p.m. prompt. Venue, CAN Secretariat along FGGC Road, Jalingo, Taraba State. Special guest of honor, His Excellency Dr. Agbike First, the Executive Governor of Taraba State. Come, let's welcome and fellowship together with this great man of God. Announcer, Planning Committee.
Everywhere I go, I see your face. Oh, yeah, yes.
The Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, Taraba State Chapter, under the leadership of Reverend Dr. Isaiah Jirape Magaji, cordially invites the general public. The Provost, College of Education, Zinc, Taraba State, Professor Ejika Sambu, FIMC, CMC, on behalf of the management, staff, and entire students of the college, cordially invites the general public to the combined convocation ceremony of her 1994 to 2023 set of graduates. Special guest of honor, His Excellency Dr. Agbike First, Executive Governor of Taraba State, which is scheduled to take place as follows. Date, 8 to 9 November 2024. Time, 10 a.m. prompt. Venue, College of Education Football Ground, Zinc, Taraba State. Announcer, Committee. The Provost, College of Education, Zinc, Taraba State, Professor Ejika Sambu, FIMC, CMC, on behalf of the management, staff, and entire students of the college, cordially invites the general public to the
Thank you, viewers. If you are just joining us, this is Hangout with Journalists on Some TV. This program comes off every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and it's a forum where we invite the members of the pen profession to bear their mind on some of the things that is happening in this country. And we are having in the studio Mr. Silvanus Bashima. Thank you for being with us in this program. And we also have Mr. John Ukom. Thank you for being with us in the studio. Remember that you can join the conversation, and you can send in text message. You can send in WhatsApp message. The number to send text message or WhatsApp message is 08020592870. You can send text or chat us on WhatsApp. If you are watching us on Facebook, you can comment on the Facebook handle, and we are going to see your comment. You can also watch us on Facebook, that is Some TV. You can watch us on YouTube, Super Media TV. You can also watch us on some decoders right now. You can watch us on Free to Air. You can watch us on Strong. You can watch us on VSAT. You can watch us on NISAT. and the frequency you will get us is 12589, and the symbol rate is 26250, and is horizontal zone on the Nikon satellite. All you need to do, if you have any of these decoder, just rescan your recorder, and the second channel 002 is Super TV, and you will enjoy 24 hours non-stop broadcasts. We've started already our tests, our 24-hour test broadcast, and you will get us 24 hours 7, even before the official launch of our digital studio and other things, because we're going to be on the Start Time, we're going to be on DSTV and other channel. So keep watching some TV, and we'll be glad to have some of your information. Let me look at some of the people that have commented on some of our social media handle. Terunza Sebastian Vilta say it's a welcome development. Thank you, Terunga Sebastian, for that comment. Gejere B Nicholas said, my president. That is referring to Donald Trump. Okay, thank you so much, Gajere. Shamaki and Diki say, God bless some TV. Thank you so much, Shamaki. And SB Talent Awashiri say, best to the world. It's like a lot of people are really happy about this Trump presidency. And Ibrahim say, congratulations to some TV. Thank you so much. Keep your comments coming in, and you can send us text message, you can send us WhatsApp message, and at the course of this program we are going to now moving on. Now suddenly we received a press statement by the president that the chief of army staff is dead. What's your initial reaction to this news?
So sad. So sad. Before I go into the statement, I want to condole the family, the immediate family of the late Chief of Army Staff. I want to condole with the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I also want to condole with the Chief of Defense Staff and the Army over the sudden death of the Chief of Army Staff. Mr. Lagbaja has been a gentleman that lived up to Nigerians' expectation, because we can attest to it that within the short time of his appointment as the Chief of Staff, here in TARABA State where I'm working, we used to live in fears. And immediately after his appointment, some of us have been following his footsteps, his activities, and his stewardship. I was one of the persons that traveled with him of recent from Jalingo to Karindamido, and following his body language. From that day, I understand he's one person that sent message to, let me call them, enemies of Nigeria. And in all of his activities, I know that I may not be the only person that will be attesting to this, that the rate of threat to crime has drastically reduced. So I am so sad that a gentleman of this, who has a lot to do for Nigeria, who still have a lot of days, months, weeks, and years in service to help the country come back to its normal glory, has gone at this time. It's so sad, but with this, it's just a true testimony that a man was born and he must live one day. So after being condoled, after I condole with the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria over the death of Mr. Lagbaja, I know that before his death, somebody was appointed in the acting capacity to succeed him. The same person was elevated yesterday, and today we heard of his demise. We are praying to God to give that same person that wears his shoes the strength to wear his cap and move from where Lagbaja stopped to take us to better days where Nigerians will sleep with their eyes closed.
Mr. President, what's your reaction?
Yeah, it's a very sad one for the country, and let me register my condolences to the family and to the nation as a whole. It's a great loss. We won't say it came in as a complete surprise because we were aware he was sick. He's been down. There have been news that he passed on. Later it was disputed, and then we moved on. We had actually hoped that he will recover and bounce back because he's been one of the most beautiful calls we've had lately. He's doing a wonderful job, just like my colleague said. And it's most saddening because if you look at his career trajectory, you will not expect that he will live so soon. You think he has so much more to offer the nation, especially at this very critical time. So it's unfortunate he had to answer the glorious call. I think he, despite the very short time he has spent, he's just in his late 50s. You know, he has done quite remarkably well. He joined the army at the academy at the age of 19. By the time he was 24, he was already commissioned a second lieutenant. He rose through the ranks and to attain the position he had at this age. So you could see that he actually has a long way to go. He has a long way to go. He has so much more to still offer the country. So it's disheartening that his life is cut short. And I will pray that God will console the family and God will grant his soul eternal rest. Yes, one thing you cannot take away from him is that he has brought out some policies that you know have really enhanced the relationship between the military and the public. You know, that animosity that was there, anytime you see a military man, you just want to run away. He has actually worked on that to some extent, and you see the level of community relationship between the army and the ordinary people is now so much enhanced. Just like he was talking about the recent visit to Karim, you know, the army has come down to the stage of going to do what I call corporate social responsibility in communities. I mean, that's quite commendable. Makes the people feel, yeah, this is the army is for us. You know, so it makes it easier for people to walk up to a military person and tell him share intelligence with him. These are some of the innovations he introduced. Unfortunately, he is cut short. We pray that the person who is succeeding him will be able to build on those policies and make it even better. That is what I want to say on
okay. Let me read some more comments. That is Ibrahim S. Ibrahim. He said, congratulations, sir. Okay, thank you, Ibrahim. He said, this is a huge congratulations, sir. Maybe they are referring to some TV. Wajisa Ubu say, wonderful program. Father Mugaba Mabia said, this is a welcome development. God bless some TV. Thank you all. Please keep your comment coming in. Now, looking at the security architecture of the country, what can you say needs to be done, particularly to improve the security of this country? Looking at what is your expectation, particularly for this new Chief of Army Staff?
Okay, personally, I would say we have an excellent security establishment. We have very fine men who are manning our security agencies. They are very gallant men that are respected all over the world. Yeah, there may be some bad and very corrupt elements, as is typical of any society or any institution. But I think the major problem we have is that we have not demonstrated enough political will to tackle insecurity. And why do I say so? I was listening to a program earlier today where someone said some of the lands that the people abandoned in Niger State as a result of insecurity, the government has taken over these lands, have brought insecurity, and the government is farming on these lands. That means it's not as if the government does not have the capacity to secure those lands. But they feel maybe deploying enough security to secure these lands for the people to farm on is a wasted effort. You understand? Now the people have abandoned the lands as a result of security threats, and government has provided security and is working on the land.
Why didn't they provide the security?
Why did you provide the security then? I don't think the security situation is so overwhelming. I don't believe that. I don't believe in that narrative. I believe we have very intelligent, very competent, very gallant security personnel. We have some of the best intelligence community in the world, and you can take that to the banks. The DSLs, the NIU, they are very efficient, very effective agencies. The only problem is the political will to tackle insecurity is what is our problem. And until we have a leader who prioritizes security, who removes the sentiments out of tackling insecurity, who feels let us do what needs to be done, irrespective of whose horse is God. Until we get to that stage, I don't think we'll get it right security-wise. But once we get to that stage, I don't think that the threats can overwhelm us as a country.
Your thoughts?
Just like my friend said, it's just the political will as you mentioned. And I will tell you the truth remains that the security architectures being formed in the country are also the problem of the people. Because most people go to be employed to make and be employed as security men with the mind to secure the country. Most people go to be employed to say I'm jobless and I want to be paid. And as soon as they get into the system is what gets to their pocket, their personal interest that matters. And I'm very sure that from the highest ranking of from the military, from the police, from the DSS and the civil defense, even the customs and every security agency were aware of this development. And we cannot continue to shy away from it. Until these days that we are into this hardship, that I travel on public transport, I understand what the masses are passing through. Because most of the times when you are driving your big car on the road, they will see you and just clear. You will not know what your neighbor is coming from behind to pass through. But when you are involved in a vehicle, you know what Nigerians are passing through on the roads. And I don't need to say this, and I believe Nigerians are aware of this. The security heads are aware of this. Where are these people, these bandits passing with these arms? It's on the roads. They pass through the roads with the arms. The security are manning the roads where these arms are being passed through. And we are aware. We cannot continue to run away from it, and we cannot continue to shy away to say it, because that is the truth. And until when we come back to our normal senses that the country belongs to us, because the same person that is manning the road that doesn't care about what is passing into the vehicle, and he cares only about the 100 naira and the 50 naira, that arm, you don't know where it's going to whether it's going to result into attacking your own family, you don't know. So the security itself is the problem of the country. We must not shy away from that. It's just the truth. Until when they reinforce themselves, when they check themselves, when they resolve to say now we are being employed, we are being paid with the taxpayers' money, and we need to do this for the country. Then, as soon as they resolve to do that, you'll begin to see the positive impact and the result of the security architecture in Nigeria.
Okay, I agree with you on that. But then, like I said earlier, yes, we need to move from the mentality, what can my country do for me, to start thinking of what can I do for my country.
Yeah.
That is what is called patriotism, but it doesn't come lightly. I'll give you an example. If you go to other countries, for instance, the US that we copy so many things from, if anything happens to a single police officer, the country is literally shut down because of that one person.
Can go to war because of one army.
The US can go to war because of one soldier.
Yeah.
Israel can take the whole world down because of one soldier. What happens in Nigeria? It's a different story. Okay, most of the security personnel don't even have any serious insurance. There is no guarantee that if you die in the course of duty today, your family will be taken care of. In fact, some of them are even buried like dogs. Let's be sincere. How will you grow that level of patriotism? Even if you went in with a full mindset to be fully committed, you get frustrated. That is just the truth. Look at the job we do as journalists. As dangerous as it is, you are involved. You know the risk involved. And yet you know how, you know the remuneration. Is it commensurate? In most cases, that's why we see people doing some sharp practices. Yeah, it's not, there's no excuse for it. There is no reason we should stoop so low to that extent. But even take it out at the individual level, at the bigger picture of it, you will still see that, like he said, the institutions, the security agencies themselves, most time compromise. Just like the elder statement once alluded here, he said the security agencies collude. You know, he is in a position that he should know what he's talking about. If at that level he's saying that there is a collusion between the threat to security and the security agencies, then there's a problem. And we saw what happened in Taraba here during the this guy from EB that was caught, that has been released, Wadumi. You know, at the end of the day, a military personnel was deeply implicated in the whole thing. Nobody knows the situation. We don't know if he's behind bar, but that is the situation. That's the extent. Okay, so to the extent that you have a commander killed in the bush in Takum with other personnel, and then nothing serious happens, how do you expect these people to be really patriotic? You know, to the extent that they can go to any length to protect themselves and to protect the nation. So, like, it goes back to the same political will. Let's look at the remuneration system. What are we paying these people? You have someone who is carrying a gun there, fighting on the front line, and what somebody is sitting in an AC office there because he's a legislator, maybe at the national, at the state level, or he's occupying one chief executive, is earning in a month, takes care of this person's earning for 2-3 years. Let's be sincere to ourselves. If we must go to equity, then we must go with clean hands. If we expect the best from our security personnel, we should be able to give them the best. They have the capacity to deliver. That I don't have a doubt about. Let's equip them. Let's motivate them. They will deliver.
Thank you so much. This is Some TV. If you are just joining us, this program comes to you every Monday, Wednesday. It's a program that we invite the men of the pen profession to come and bear their mind on some of the development in our country and also in the world. We'll take a quick commercial break. When we come back, hang out with journalists, we continue. Please don't go away.
Provost College of Education, Zinc, Taraba State, Professor Ejika Sambu, FIMC, CMC, on behalf of the management, staff and entire students of the college, cordially invites the general public to the combined convocation ceremony of her 1994 to 2023 set of graduates. Special guest of honor, His Excellency Dr. Agbuke First, Executive Governor of Taraba State, which is scheduled to take place as follows. Date 8 to 9th November 2024. Time 10 a.m. prompt. Venue College of Education Football Ground, Zinc, Taraba State. Announcer Committee. The Provost College of Education, Zinc, Taraba State, Professor Ejika Sambu, FIMC, CMC, on behalf of the management, staff and entire students of the college, cordially invites the general public to the combined convocation ceremony of her 1994 to 2023 set of graduates. Special guest of honor, His Excellency Dr. Agbuke First, Executive Governor of Taraba State, which is scheduled to take place as follows. Date 8 to 9th November 2024. Time 10 a.m. prompt. Venue College of Education Football Ground, Zinc, Taraba State. Announcer Committee. The Provost College of Education, Zinc, Taraba State.
Hangout with journalists on some TV, and we are getting to the last segment of today's program. Remember that you can send in your text message, you can send in your WhatsApp message, you can comment on the platform where you are joining us from, and the number to call is 08020 820592870, 08020592870. You can bear your mind on any part of what we have discussed at this segment. You can call, you can send text message, you can also chat us, and you will be part of this program. Gentlemen, let's come back to Taraba State, where we are hosting the station from. We have seen the governor doing everything possible to bring investors. We saw him commissioning a committee. We saw him going to different countries. This effort has met with mixed reaction. What's your take about this effort of the governor to bring investors to Taraba State?
Let me first of all say congratulations to the Executive Governor of Taraba State, Dr. Agbuke First, for succeeding to travel out to bring in people to attract people to come and invest in the state, in Taraba State. If I begin to say the state has a lot of opportunities for investors, that would be an understatement, because it has already been there, and the name is Nature's Gift to the Nation, which the whole world is aware of. But after congratulating the governor, for some of us who have been conversant with governors, we think it's a little bit late for some of us, because the governor was elected and was given a whole sum of 3 months before inauguration. And it was, for some of us, we expected that at that time, he should equip himself because he was allowed to travel out, because I know the last time I saw him in Jerusalem praying for the country, and we understand he moved around other countries before he went to Jerusalem and came back to be sworn in. I must be sincere to also state here clearly that we have governors who are the first time that came in Nigeria, and bringing people now to sign MOU, which his tenure is 4 years, and his far spent a year and some months. And the tradition of the country, the tradition of the politics of Nigeria, we know that it's what you do that will attract the people to vote for you. And we also know very well that a governor who clicks 2 years in office, as soon as he gets into the 3rd year, he's already planning for his 3rd term. He is a first-time governor, and we will not run away from that. We are believing that with his body language, he would like to go for 2nd term. So we were expecting that immediately he was sworn in the first 2-3 months, the investors should be attracted to come into the state and make people believe that the governor is all out to work for the state and bring dividends to the people that elected him. In as much as I'm saying for some of us it's late, because we don't know when all these MOUs will be impacted, signed, and the study will go on, and the investment will commence within the space of the remaining 2 years of the governor in office. In as much as I say that, you still pray for the governor, because he went to bring this scout for them, and you know their capability. Now that some of us are expressing a little bit disappointment in their late coming, they should be speedy in their action to now affirm the position of the person that brought him, who is the governor, to work for the state, because the people of the state are anxiously waiting for the governor to take steps to convince the people who voted for him that if he asks them for a 2nd term, they will gladly give it to them. So my own take on the investors who are coming into the state now, yes, the governor started on the good footing. Let me not forget that, because you must have to prepare your own ground first before development. And he came in the face of insecurity. I must give him kudos to that. He has secured the state. The crime rate, that is kidnapping, robbery, banditry, has reduced to a certain level that we can commend him. Now that he has prepared the ground for the investors and they are here, they should speedy the action to convince the people that truly they voted for a governor that is ready and capable to provide dividends of democracy to Taraba State.
Your thoughts?
Well, attracting investors, it's a very good development. Taraba State has enormous potentials. I tell people that it's a virgin state because most of the potentials there are completely untapped. So it's good to bring in people, make efforts to bring in people to tap into this potentials and bring out the best of Taraba. However, I think it will make a lot more sense if the state government focused more on exploring the potentials themselves. I give you an example. Taraba State has the capacity to produce enough rice to serve the country. I can say that without mincing
the
words.
longest stretch of River Benue
is in Taraba.
Yes.
So they have the land, very fertile land. They have the capacity to ensure that Taraba produces enough rice to feed the entire country. Now, as a state government, I would expect the governor, you don't need to go and bring in someone from Canada to come and invest in the rice sector here. No. As a state government, if farming, rice farming, for instance. You have the right tractors, you have the right, these days they spray chemicals using drones. These are things that a state government should afford. Okay, if you are able to commercialize rice farming, that will boost the state's IGR. Right now we are at the lowest rung of the rank based on NBS statistics this morning. We are the lowest rung of. So if you focus on rice production only,
10.8 billion about the last
idea
in the whole country.
So if you focus on rice production as a state government, the revenue that you make from rice will be mind-boggling. And you can cultivate rice up to 3-4 times in a year because you'll be doing irrigation farming. That is as a state government. Now you are cultivating rice. Once they see that you are producing that much quantity of rice, you don't need to tell any investor that if I set a rice mill in that state, I'll have as easy access to rice paddy. You don't need to go and beg him. He knows the raw material is there. He will go there.
Yes.
He will come and set up a rice mill here. He will employ people, and when he's coming, you are giving him conditions that he will set up the rice mill. If you are setting up this rice mill, you must employ so number of people from my state. You must involve the local communities at this level. You must be willing to provide corporate social responsibilities at this extent. They will do it because they know that they have enough raw material there to sustain their industry. Every industry is sustained by the raw material. Look at somewhere like Kurumi. People travel from Abuja to come and buy plantain in Kurumi cocoa to go there. People come all the way from Ibadan, all the way from Lagos to come and buy cocoa here. What's happening to our cocoa in Taraba? You tell people there is cocoa in Taraba and they laugh at you. Even people in Taraba, the Tarabans themselves, some of them don't even know we have cocoa here. They go to Kurumi and see cocoa orchards. You travel for 30 minutes on a bike in a bush and it's cocoa orchards on both sides. They harness it, people come and buy it very cheaply and then go and rebrand it in another place and make it look as if it's cocoa from those states. But if the government decides to take interest in cocoa, let us see how we mop up the cocoa that is produced in the state, process it here for exportation. For instance, you do that, by the time people see the statistics, see this amount of cocoa that is coming out from Taraba State, somebody will come and set up an industry here. They will come and beg to set up an industry here. You don't need to go and beg them. They just need to know that this thing is there and it's in abundance. So I think where we are getting it a bit wrong. Okay, look at our dietary products. We have the highest concentration of kettles in Nigeria on the Mambila Plateau. That's it. We have the highest concentration of kettle in the whole country. It's on the Mambila Plateau, and you have a lot of kettle in every other part of the state.
Even in terms of tourism,
what's happening to it? Nobody pays attention to it. Okay, the state government can decide that let's set up a model ranch on the Mambila Plateau. Once you have the very big ranch there, give it 2-3 years. Before you know what's happening, companies will be coming in to buy milk. Companies will be coming in to buy all the dietary products from there. You understand? So it won't go far before somebody will decide that, okay, instead of coming to buy this thing here and move it to Abuja, move it to Makurdi, to Lagos, or to other places, why not come and set up the industry here? So that I process it here. It's cheaper.
See tomato in
Laos. You have everything. Look at yam. You go to Ukari, you see yam everywhere. You go to Zing, you go to this place. In fact, if it were not because of the security threats that crippled farming activities, we shouldn't be talking about food insecurity in Taraba. So the potentials are here. What I think the government needs to do is think very well, what can we do in this sector? How can we boost this sector so that this raw material is readily available there? And then you make use of the press. You ensure that this information is constantly in the public domain. Okay, people should know that this thing is there. Most time when you go to attract investors, when you talk to them, you finish. As soon as you leave, the next thing is they Google it.
They can't get it.
They Google to confirm what you are saying. They want to get the information on what you are saying, and then they don't see it there.
Yeah.
It's not in the public domain. So whatever you are saying does not carry so much weight to them. But if the government is deliberate about selling the state and its potentials to the rest of the world, it means publicity must be stepped up. Yeah, as a journalist, we do our best as individual journalists. But you see, it's also not very easy for you to travel here, go and stay in Kurumi without any proper security arrangement, without any proper mobilization from anywhere. You go and stay there for 2-3 days. You are traveling in the bush that you want to do a feature story on the agricultural potentials of that place. Not also very easy. But if the government is deliberate about this and efforts are made towards that, so that deliberately these things are put in the public domain, you are very competent journalists who can do feature stories on these things. These things, the information is put in the public domain, and when you are talking about it, when you go to a prospective investor, you start telling them about it. Say, oh, okay, are you this place we heard about? Is that for okay? We know about it. Okay, so how can we come in? They will be very keen. But when you are going to tell them something they've never heard about, and then it makes it very difficult to sell. And when you are bringing in investors from the point of weakness, now what I say from the point of weakness, you are going there to beg them, please come and invest in my state. They are not the ones coming in. I've seen potential. Say, I would like to invest. How do I come in? They will always give you conditions that ordinarily they shouldn't. So I think the first thing is for the state to look inwards. These are our identified potentials. How do we grow them? How do we make these raw materials readily available and very attractive so that people can come and invest, bring their industries here, and then we'll build the state?
A follow-up to that. It's not that I'm making a jest of it, but most of the times when we get information of this nature, we begin to wonder, others us might, that in the news, I was driving, it was even in my little car, I had the news that an investor that came into the state, somebody who came to invest, now presented award to the governor and also presented a certificate of citizenship of his country to the governor. And these are people that came in and we were expecting serious commitment from them. And then you came in as an investor and your first attempt is to now say, I want to present award to the governor. Are you giving the governor award for giving you an opportunity to come and invest in the state? Because that is not what brought you in the state in the first place. What we expect to see from these people, as I said before, and like my friend is saying, let me tell you, Mr. Gabriel, what we first of all face in this kind of sector is the kind of people the governor himself will employ to sit at the power to man these positions. That you are talking about agriculture, you are talking about these potentials, this money that man was telling us about the mineral resources in the state. Who are the people that you appoint as commissioners to man these positions? Because you as a governor, you can't just be everywhere and you can't do everything. The mentality of a common person within the state is that if I'm appointed a commissioner, I am coming to make money so that I will be a big man. So the people being appointed and scheduled with responsibility of taking charge of these sectors should also matter. Who are the people? What are they doing in their offices, in their various offices? What are they doing to assist you as their boss? If you are not there and something stuff on the table, how are they going to handle it, and how are they going to sacrifice to make sure that they are outside within their office for you to come back and be shocked, look at it and remain shocked that my commissioner is capable of giving this kind of result? These are people that can simply give an oriented result to any governor. But as soon as you bring people based on political reward or based on relationship, at the end of the day, your name will be dragged to the dust, but not their name. Because they only come to benefit from it take it home and make big money to the local politicians to show themselves the beautiful cars be given to them. So when making this appointment, the governor himself, I think it's high time he should take a second look at the cabinet he appointed about 2 years ago and see if the result-oriented political officers or commissioners, and then check their record and look at how critical it's going to be at the end of his 4 years. If they will truly give him the result that he will still go back to the people and ask them for another mandate.
Okay, let's talk about the committee that was set up. We saw the government setting up a very powerful committee comprises of cutting across political parties. He did not say because he's a member of PDP, so all the members of the committee in that committee that is led by the former deputy governor, talking about Haruna Manu. We saw different people in that committee. We saw Senator of South, who is an APC member. We saw the Minister of State for Shadibara, who is a APC member. We saw somebody like the former acting governor Amayawu. We saw Sani Contact, who are people, yes, Sani Abubakar, who are, these are people who have appointment at the federal and they are non-members of the APC. Don't you see?
Non-members of the PDP.
APC.
They are members of the PDP. APC.
Yes.
Non-members of PDP.
Yes, they are known that these are members well known for APC.
Yeah.
Don't you see that as an inclusion?
Yeah. Politics is different from governance. Okay. A serious-minded leader will not think first about the political inclination of someone or their political affiliation in appointments. If you want result and you feel you can get the result outside your political party, I don't see anything wrong with that. I think he has been doing, His Excellency, the Governor of Taraba State, Dr. Bukefas, has been doing that a lot. Most of his functions, you see, he includes the APC people there. What he did, the composition of that committee, if you ask me, what he did basically is to bring in strategic sons of the soil who are occupying offices at the national level, maybe the legislators, while holding key positions like the minister, because he knows as the Minister of State for Social Development is a new ministry. That's the ministry that supervises Northeast Development Commission. You cannot compromise on their role, the role they play in the development of the state. If you want to actually attract development to the state, you need an NEDC. And if the Minister of State that is supervising that ministry is from Taraba State, then you need to work with him. So it's completely a very smart move to bring them all together. The names I also didn't see on the committee were names of people like, I don't want to be specific, I don't want to mention people's names, but you have people on the ground here who are specialists. Okay, they understand the terrain, they understand, for instance, if we talk about the agri sector, you have a very young man who is a SA on agriculture, right? Hassan Mikaswa. He's a very intelligent agricultural economist. He understands the system very well. If you bring in someone like that on that committee, while those people are attracting, they are working at the bigger level there, he on the ground here is feeding them with the information. Okay, if we want to meet this person in this area, this is what can be done in this area. The last time we spoke, he was talking about agricultural extension, reviving agricultural extension. It's going to be capital intensive. If you are to attract someone who invests in that aspect, you need someone like him to explain the system, how it's going to work to the person you are approaching. So in as much as we need the big names on the committee, it would have been good if the governor also stepped it down a little bit, bringing some of these foot soldiers okay, on the committee, it would have made it a much richer committee. But on the whole, it's the composition of the committee. It's a nice one. It's a nice move.
Okay, if you are just joining us, this is Hangout with Journalists. This is a program on Sun TV that comes off every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And it's an opportunity to give the men of the pen profession the opportunity to bear their mind on issues that relates to the country. And well, I want to thank you gentlemen for finding your time to be here and to discuss on some of the issues. I hope the next time when we have time, you'll be happy to be part of it and be joining us. This is a baby television, and we are hoping that we'll begin to compete with the big names in the country, and we actually hope to set a very high standard for ourselves. I want to appreciate you so much for sparing your time despite your tight schedule to be with us on this program. Viewers, this is where we are going to be drawing the curtain for today on this particular program. Remember that Sun TV is a 24 hours television that brings you information, news, entertainment, and everything you need to know in this country. Feel free to hook up to all our channels, and part of what we intend to do is to make sure that we give people opportunity to have 1, 2, 3 avenue that they can always join us, and that is why we are trying to make sure that we have so many platforms. Already a lot of platforms are on. You can join us on Facebook, that is Super Sun TV, on YouTube, Super Media TV, and you can also join us on our website, that is supermediatv.com. We are also in Infex platform. You can download also our TV app on Play Store, and you can also set your decoder to join us on free to air, on strong decoder, on CSAT, on NASAT frequency, and the frequency is 12589, and the symbol rate is 26250, and the position is horizontal and is on Nikonsat satellite, and the position is 42.5 E. All you need to do is to just reset your decoder if you have any of these decoder, and on channel 002 you are going to see Super TV there. So keep watching Super TV and keep joining us. There are so much we have for you in this country and in the world entirely, and I'm sure you'll keep enjoying. See you on Thursday, on Friday, when we shall bring you another fresh edition of the program Hangout with Journalists. Remain blessed. I remain Olayinka Gabriel. God bless you.
Are you a businessman or woman? Do you need loan to grow your business? At TARABA Business Development Center, we offer both business and personal loan with flexible repayment plan. We are located in different parts of TARABA State. Jalingo Branch, opposite Civil Service Commission 183 Amarua Way, 09031